The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows across the barren landscape as Thomas, a man recently discharged from the war, trudged along the dirt road. His uniform, once crisp and adorned with medals, now hung loosely on his frame, stained and frayed from battles fought and sacrifices made. In his pocket, he clutched 3 farthings, the only remnants of a life once filled with purpose and camaraderie. The clang of swords and the cries of men seemed a distant echo, replaced by the harsh reality of solitude and uncertainty. Yet beneath the weight of his circumstances, a fire flickered within him, a determination that refused to be extinguished. "I shall not be defeated," he muttered to himself, clenching the coins tightly. "I will seek the right ally and claim the treasures of the kingdom." With that declaration, he set his sights on the dense forest that lay ahead, a place whispered about in tales of adventure and mystery. The trees loomed like ancient sentinels, their trunks thick and gnarled. But Thomas felt an inexplicable pull toward the heart of the woods, where he believed destiny awaited. As he ventured deeper, the sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating a tapestry of light and shadow on the forest floor. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and pine, invigorating him with each breath. It was here, among the towering trees, that he encountered a sight that made him halt in his tracks. Before him stood a figure, a man of formidable stature, uprooting trees as if they were mere stalks of corn. With each heave, the ground trembled slightly, and the roots, like serpents, writhed in protest. "Who are you, mighty one?" Thomas called out, his voice barely above a whisper, awestruck by the display of strength. The man turned, revealing a face weathered by time and toil, but illuminated by a spirit that shone with unyielding resolve. "I am Garrick, a humble woodcutter," he replied, his voice deep and resonant. "What brings a soldier to these woods, clutching but 3 farthings? "I seek an ally," Thomas answered, stepping closer. "I have fought bravely in war and now aim to claim the treasures of the kingdom. With your strength, we could achieve great things." Garrick paused, considering the soldier's words. "You believe the treasures of the kingdom lie within reach for 2 men?" he asked, a glimmer of intrigue in his eyes. "Together, we could face any challenge," Thomas declared, his confidence bubbling to the surface. "I have little to offer, but I promise that our bond will be forged in courage and ambition." The woodcutter chuckled, the sound rumbling like distant thunder. "Very well, soldier, I shall join you. But first, I must take this tree home to my parents. They will need its wood for the winter." With a nod of understanding, Thomas watched as Garrick hoisted the massive trunk onto his broad shoulders, the tree seeming as light as a feather in his grasp. As they walked side by side, the forest echoed with the sound of their footsteps, 2 strong souls bound by a shared purpose. Once Garrick had delivered the tree, they set off together, the weight of uncertainty lifting slightly with each step. They shared stories of their pasts. Thomas spoke of the battles he had fought, the comrades he had lost, and the dreams he had for a future unburdened by the horrors of war. Garrick, in turn, spoke of the forest, of the creatures that dwelled within, and the strength that came from the earth itself. Their laughter mingled with the rustling leaves, a melody of hope rising against the backdrop of their struggles. As they journeyed forward, they came upon a clearing where the sun bathed the ground in golden light. There they spotted a huntsman, his bow drawn taut, eyes narrowed in concentration. He was aiming at a fly perched on an oak branch 2 miles away. The absurdity of the scene struck Thomas and Garrick, and they exchanged bemused glances. "What manner of huntsman is this?" Garrick asked, shaking his head in disbelief. "A determined one, it seems," Thomas replied, chuckling softly. "Perhaps he possesses skills we could use." They approached the huntsman, who was so engrossed in his aim that he didn't notice their presence until they were almost upon him. "A fine shot, my friend," Thomas called out, causing the huntsman to lower his bow, startled. "Who dares interrupt my target?" the huntsman retorted, his brow furrowed in annoyance. "We are travelers seeking adventure," Garrick said, stepping forward. "What drives you to aim for such a minuscule prize?" The huntsman, realizing the absurdity of his endeavor, let out a reluctant laugh. "I suppose I am a bit mad, but I believe that even the smallest of targets can yield great rewards. What brings you to these woods?" "We seek the treasures of the kingdom," Thomas declared, a spark igniting in his eyes. "Join us, and we shall face whatever challenges lie ahead together." The huntsman considered their proposition, his gaze flickering between the 2 men. "I am skilled in tracking and survival. If you can promise me a share of the treasure, I will lend you my bow and my wits." "Agreed, mate," Garrick exclaimed, clapping the huntsman on the back. "With your skills, we shall be unstoppable." As the three men stood together, they felt a surge of camaraderie, a bond forming that transcended their individual struggles. With each step they took into the unknown, they knew they were not merely seeking treasure. They were forging a brotherhood that would carry them through the trials ahead. The forest whispered secrets around them, and the world beyond waited, full of danger and glory, ready to reveal its treasures to those brave enough to claim them.